Hello, everyone. Today I'm speaking with Ali Pruitt, who's a remote work productivity consultant and the founder of Fully Remote with Ali. She has over 10 years of process and workflow improvement experience and has been traveling internationally for over 4 years while working remotely and is currently based in Manzanillo, Mexico. Did I say that right, Ali?
You did. Good job.
Thank you. So I'll link to your website and your full bio, your story in the description. But for the moment, I'll just say hello. Thanks for taking the time to talk today. And let's get through a few helpful questions for people.
Awesome. Thanks for having me today and looking forward to the chit chat.
And may I just say where you're sitting is absolutely stunning. So maybe check out our Instagram as well. We'll make sure we link that.
Yeah. Beach life has its good points about it. So
I can fully concur. So the first question I had for you, Ali, you convert companies and individuals both to remote working. So how do the processes in your work, how do they differ when you're dealing with converting a small or a large company or just an individual to remote work? Is it more similar than not, or how would you approach a company differently?
yeah, it is very similar because my focus is on the individual. And so when I'm discussing with a company or a team whether or not it's a good fit for me to come in and do webinars with the company and help their team or company transition, it really always comes back to the individual and helping the individual achieve a really healthy work-life balance, learn how to unplug from work, have that work-life balance, and be able to show up for themselves first so that they can bring their best self to work. And so it differs just slightly because with companies, there's a lot of different people in a team, right? And so there's a big change management piece to that. Not that change management also doesn't really apply to an individual, but it's a slightly different approach with teams and organizations. There's a little bit more strategy planning ahead of time, learning more about the culture, their processes, and things like that. Because of my background with process and workflow improvement, I can also help with the ecosystem, creating that remote work ecosystem, systems, processes, the culture, communication, and all of that. But it's always going to end with training and enabling the individual to unplug from work, balance work and life, show up for themselves, and then bring their best self to work.
Okay, so for example, Ali, if you were working with a small team, say half a dozen, 10 people, and they're spread out between maybe Europe and the United States, what are the kind of problems that would come up most frequently for you? Is it simply communication, or might it be just switching off at different times of the day for different people?
Really great question. The communication piece is probably the biggest challenge that those types of teams face, the communication and unplugging, which they kind of go hand in hand. There's this sense of needing to stay connected because half the team is still working on the other side of the world, and needing to be available for them. And so that's where asynchronous communication really comes into play, and making sure that you've created the processes that can help with async communication. You've created the communication platform and the culture to embrace that. And then having something that indicates, I've unplugged at the end of the day. So I teach a daily recap. There's different acronyms, sometimes daily wrap up, things like that, to teams to help them to communicate when they're ending their day. Of course, people use Slack, and you can say, offline and stuff like that. But it's that follow through on that of when you're done, when you've shut off, when you've unplugged, you're done. And the rest of the team, the expectation is that you'll respond tomorrow. And even having the culture within the team, that of one that's holding one another accountable to that as well. Like, if you do ask someone and it's like 9 o'clock, in the UK over there, and you're not expecting an answer, and they do answer, you can kind of say, hey, I don't expect an answer until tomorrow, or should you be with your family, or whatever, those types of things. So.
Sure. Yeah, I would say disconnect tends to be the biggest thing I talk about with people as well. So it's one of the bigger challenges. And we could probably speak for hours about this, Ali, with tips and everything, but I think people should just check out your site or email you, check out one of your other interviews to go deeper on that one.